Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry my table is such a mess, but I decided I wanted to do a messy pour. So I kind of need it to be a messy table because it's going to be messy. I have been dying to do a peacock colored pour here lately. I'm just trying to make sure I'm focused in. I'm going to look on my phone to see how much paint I need for a 16 by 20 canvas. And according to the chart, I need 11 ounces of paint. I've got 12-ounce cups, so I'm going to fill it up to the brim for a 16 by 20 canvas. So that will be what I pour in, and then if I need a little extra on the edges, I can always add one of my colors to the edges. And I've got all my colors mixed up. Fabulous colors, fabulous colors. A little bit of a rainbow of everything in the peacock family. And I've mixed most of my colors, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use this color. It's kind of a denim blue. But I have this turquoise color. And then I have a kind of greenish turquoise color. I've got a really deep, vivid phthalo blue. I have a copper color. This is a Artist Loft Gold, so it's kind of a little bit on the muted side, but I am going to mix up some Deco Art Vintage Brass, which is very shimmery. I'm going to mix that for you here in a second. I've got a purple that I added a bit of white to so that when it dries it doesn't turn to almost black, because dioxazine purple will almost turn black. So I added just a bit of white to lighten it up. This is a little bit of Folk Art Shift paint that's kind of a bluish purple color, just a bit left. And I've got a big old thing of like a deep magenta. So I'm going to mix the very last color for you. I'm doing 1 part paint to a little over 1 part of Oatrol Easy Flow. This is European. It's the same as Floetrol in America. Oatrol is gracious to give me free product to demo for you, and it's great for people especially that live outside of the U.S. that have a hard time getting Floetrol. So this is a great replacement. It actually is my preference. It costs more. It's harder to get. You can only get it on Amazon or from oatrolusa.com. Here is the Deco Art Vintage Brass that I love to use, that is in this cup, that is just so super shimmery. But I just wanted to do a kind of a larger peacock colored pour because I do love peacock feathers. I was trying to decide if I want to add any green to it. To the colors that I've mixed. Now I've got to add my water. And when you're using metallics or tube paint, you do have to add water because otherwise it's too thick for you. You got to add that water to get it to the right consistency. I'm kind of maxed out in my cup here, so that's why I'm spilling water everywhere outside of my cup. Metallics, you always have to add a little bit more water to because they're thick. Got a lump here. And all of my other colors have OGX in it, and I will be adding that to this cup. The thing about OGX is, unlike silicone where you have to add several drops, with OGX you only add 1 drop to a cup of paint, it doesn't matter how much or how little you have, you don't need more than 1 drop of OGX in your cup of color. So I just wanted to make a note of that it takes very little OGX to get big, beautiful cells. One drop. Just kind of intermingle it in, but you don't have to stir it that much. And this is really kind of thicker than I want, but I'll worry about that in a minute. I think I am going to do 1 small cup of metallic. This is metallic leaf green and metallic phthalo green. I'm going to finish up the leaf green, and if I have enough, then I won't have to use any from the other tube. I think I have plenty. I do. So I don't need that one, but this is metallic leaf green. So I probably got about 1 ounce, and I'm going to add just a little over 1 ounce of the Oatrol Easy Flow. And then I'm going to add a good amount of water, because any tube paint takes a lot of water, because it is like peanut butter. It's so thick. And I'm probably going to have to use, I'm going to have to split this into 2 cups once I get that Oatrol mixed in, because I've got way too much paint to add my water to. But that'll just give me more to play with. So you always mix your pouring medium, which in my case is Oatrol Easy Flow. You always mix it in with the paint first and make it totally bind together before you go adding water. You add water after you have your paint and Easy Flow mixed together, or if you're using Floetrol, you mix those 2 together first and add your water after the paint has bound to the paint conditioner. That is the way it's meant to work. And I'm going to add a drop of OGX, stir it a few times. That's it for that cup. And because I had too much, I'm going to add water to this cup. Tell you what, I'm going to put some of this brass in here. I'm going to mix it right into the green, because my brass needs some more water added to it. It's too thick. And if I pour out a little bit into that green, then that gives me room to add water to my brass mixture. So that's what I'm doing with that. And this will alter the paint a little bit, but it'll just make it more beautiful. Just more beautiful. So it almost gives it a more golden green feel to it, which is really pretty. Just a little dash more of water, and it should be good to go. And then my drop of OGX. All right. Now I'm ready to roll. And I've spilled and splattered on this canvas, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to pour totally over it. So again, I'm going to fill up this whole cup of color here with color. So I want whatever goes in last or first will come out last. Just keep that in mind when you're putting your colors in. I may even throw in a little limey green. It's been sitting here a while. I'm adding a bit of water to it. I may throw in a touch of that. Not sure. But so I want something really pretty on the top, and most likely metallics. So I think I'm going to start out this cup with the brass. And I'm going to pour down my side of my cup and layer my colors. And I do kind of want some contrast between the layers. I'm not doing it in a rainbow effect. I want some contrast. So I'm kind of going lighter, darker. I'm going to add some of this beautiful golden green metallic here. I'm going to go ahead and put this color shift paint in. I want to use it up. Okay, we're going to do some copper. This bold, beautiful, deep blue again. Do this turquoisey color, this magenta color, and this lighter turquoise. So I've got a full cup. All right, so I have all these beautiful colors in here. Let me put a little of the lime green. And I have another green. I'll put a little over here. Just a bit. Just for the fun of it. I'm going to have maybe too much paint, but that's okay. I'd rather have too much than not enough. I'll even put a little more metallic green on top of that. And some brass. Shoot. We're going to make this thing pretty. So I'm going to pour it out kind of in a tree ring, but open, an open tree ring. So here we go. Beauty, beauty, beauty. So this is my version of Peacock colors. It might not be your version, but it's my version, and I'm sticking to it. I have so many luscious colors all mixed up in cups that I had from classes, and I've just got paint everywhere. When I teach my classes, I actually tell people you do not have to use a torch or a heat gun. You can blow with your breath and burst any air bubbles that are on the surface. You don't have to use a torch. The only reason I do it is to get rid of air bubbles. And if I see one, I just blow on it if I missed it. Because sometimes what it does is it just makes little tiny dots on your painting. If you're just patient with it, if you just let it sit 5 to 10 minutes and let the OGX do its thing, the cells will kind of grow on their own. And you don't really have to work that hard to get cells. So you don't have to have the heat. I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes and I'll come back to it. I'm just going to wait. I'm just taking some off the table here so it will help that paint glide a little bit better. Got a lot of green in this last corner I'll kind of want to get rid of. So I'm going to let that green shift a bit. I have in mind that I would like to do a peacock on top of this. So I'm trying to decide if I want to touch it anymore or just leave it be and use it as my background for the body of a peacock, its face, and possibly some feathers. But I think I'm going to leave it so that I can do a peacock on top of it. So I'm going to bring it up to you just to see. Actually, I'm going to wipe off some of this paint that's underneath the canvas or dripping off so that it doesn't keep dragging all the paint off the edge of the canvas. So there's part metallics and then part that aren't metallics. But it's beautiful peacock colors. I'm pretty pleased with it. So I'm going to leave it as is, I do believe. I really want to use that metallic green and brass together and maybe the blue. So this is an 8x10 canvas, so I'm going to zoom you in closer, clean my fingers up a bit. This is a 8x10 canvas. I'm going to take me a little 3-ounce bathroom cup. I'm going to do some of this deep phthalo blue, this beautiful metallic green with the brass in it, then the brass color, maybe a pinch of this magenta color. I'll just pour it in kind of deep. Pour in a little bit of this thick copper. The green again. The blue. Flip it over. Let this sit for 1 minute. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tilt. All right, that's quite lovely. I don't think it does it justice in the camera. I don't know if that helps show the metallic a little bit more or not. Turned off some of the lights, but it's quite lovely. So I'm going to put a few drops where it got thinner on the canvas. It is so pretty. Just a few spots where the paint pulls away. You just have to keep kind of adding to get it to stay where the drips are. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. There it is. And my messy table, I promise the next time I do a video it'll be a nice clean table. I knew I would make a big mess, that's why I left it kind of nasty underneath. But I will see you on the next video. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.